Welcome to Toros Cafeteros, where today I want to look at the Grand Finale between Bucaramanga and Santa Fe, leg 1. Because that Grand Finale is being played over 2 games, one in Bucaramanga, one in Bogota. And I want to look at leg 1 that happened last Saturday. Leg 2 will be played this Saturday. I'm not going to be able to make a video about the second game, so I'll probably post who actually ended up winning and who is the new champion in the Apertura 2024 season. Apertura, the opening half of the year, one complete season, and then finalización or clausura, if you will, is the season that will start in the second half of 2024 or any year for that matter. But Bucaramanga against Santa Fe, a very interesting game on last Saturday, June 8th in Bucaramanga. First of all, I want to look at how both teams qualified. Bucaramanga in the league table, and I looked back and made a video about how the Colombian system works, how Primera operates. You can check that out here. A little overview, a little recap now. You have 3 phases. So the first phase is everyone plays everyone in a single match. It's kind of random who has the home games and who's away. But it's the first stage. 19 games in total. All 20 teams will be ranked in the table. The first 8 make it to the semi-final stage, the group stage, where they play each other twice, home and away this time. And then the first 2 of each 4-team group make it to the Gran Finale. That is played over 2 legs. So Bucaramanga in the big table in the opening 19 games in the season ended up in first place in the Apertura first round table. Then in the semi-final group stage, what a crazy group, because it ended up with a 4-way tie between all teams, ended up with 8 points. Like all teams, Bucaramanga had 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses, the same goal difference as Millonarios, but they even scored 1 goal less than Millonarios. The reason they're in the final and Millonarios are not is that they owned the tiebreaker, which is the direct comparison. So Bucaramanga won 1 game against Millonarios in Bogota, 1-0, and then there was a draw at home, which in aggregate made them win the direct comparison. So Bucaramanga in first place, they advanced to the Grand Finale. Who do they play in the Grand Finale? That is Santa Fe de Bogota, that ended up 4th in the league table, in the Apertura table, 4 points behind Bucaramanga. And then in this semi-final group stage, the other group obviously, they dominated that group with 16 points, 5 wins, and only 1 draw, no losses. So you could think, wow, who's the favorite here? Because Bucaramanga won the league table. Then the semi-final group, Santa Fe dominated. So you have really 2 strong cases there. But let's look at how both teams performed in the first leg. That Bucaramanga won 1-0 at home. And did they win that justifiably? Did they deserve to win this game? I think yes. And looking closer at how that game unfolded, it's a great example of how the same formation, how the same tactic can be interpreted differently. Both teams play in a 3-5-2 on offense. Both teams play on a 5-3-2 on defense, but one team managed to switch between both positions better and faster, and that team was Bucaramanga. So Bucaramanga in the final, 75 years old club, never won anything. That's kind of the meme, the big joke. Bucaramanga never wins. They have the chance for the first time ever to win any trophy. So the last time and only time they made it to the Grand Finale was in 1997. That's been quite some time. There they lost to América de Cali. And again, they're playing a 5-3-2, but the left wing back and the right wing back moved up so far that they became very, very dangerous on offense. So on offense, that 5-3-2 really became a 3-5-2, and how it is supposed to be played, right? You always have the backs move up and down depending on whether you have the ball or not. And those switching moments are key to success of that formation. Bucaramanga built up through defense, midfield, and then vertical passes to the forwards. They tried to play quick, even if it wasn't a counter-attack. And it wasn't only for the sake of playing quick, but because the rooms were opening on Santa Fe's defense. Because Santa Fe couldn't really switch that fast, or they didn't switch that fast backwards, so that Bucaramanga tried to use those spaces in Santa Fe's defense to then play vertically fast. And the 1-0 goal by left wing defender Freddy Hinestrosa, who moved up and reached the ball that passed all the intended targets, and he was ready, he was there, even though he's a defender. That's what I mean with the wing backs moving up. He was in position to score a goal in Santa Fe's box, even though he was on defense, just the position prior to that. If that had been Santa Fe, the way they played, those left or right and wing backs basically would have not been in a position to score, because they, again, interpreted that position differently. One thing to add to Bucaramanga before I want to look at Santa Fe is that their throw-ins were super dangerous. I think in the first half alone, there were like 4 or 5 shots, not all on goal, but shots in general, that were created through long throw-ins. So that's definitely a weapon that Bucaramanga likes to use. Santa Fe, on the other side, 9 league titles in total. The last time they won the league was in 2016. 2 Copa Colombia titles last time in 2009. 1 Copa Sudamericana title in 2015. That's the only time a Colombian team has ever won the Copa Sudamericana. They played, as I mentioned, also in a 3-5-2, but they kind of kept it more in that 3-5-2 and weren't able to switch that fast, or switch differently to the 5-3-2 on defense. So you have a controlled build-up that mostly happened horizontally. Santa Fe tried to pass the ball more within their own rows and tried to find gaps, but since Bucaramanga was so stable on defense and so fast switching those wingbacks back on defense, they didn't find many holes in that formation. So their 5-3-2 was too static. On offense, it was not really finding any spaces, and on defense, they were unable to switch back. And they weren't really pulling those wingbacks back either. They had more, the 5 in defense were more created by the central midfielders dropping back into the defensive line. And so that it all didn't work out too well. Bucaramanga with more chances, and in the end, a deserved win. Maybe the 1-0 wasn't even enough. We'll see how the second leg unfolds on Saturday in Bogota, if Santa Fe is able to turn this series around, and who will end up champion in the Apertura 2024 season in the Colombian Primera A. Stay tuned if you're able to watch the game. I'm interested in what you think of how both teams played, what the mistakes were, how the teams could have interpreted their formation better, and how those players moved. And again, Gutierrez, in my opinion, and also Hinestrosa, who really was a foundation on defense on Bucaramanga's side, being able to switch up, run up, and was always accurate with his passes. I think a big difference maker here in this final. But yes, leg 2 on Saturday, June 15th in Bogota. I hope you're able to watch. If not, I'll post here who won, but won't be able to kind of analyze the game in more depth. So I don't know what the next video will be I'll bring out, but it might be centered around the Copa America. I don't know how much time I'll have around that tournament. Or the Sub-20 Women's World Cup that will be hosted by Colombia, will be played in Cali, Bogota, and Medellin. So I hope you tune in for that, subscribe to the channel, like this video. Until next time, thank you so much for watching.